Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday. It's actually not morning. It's like 11 o'clock. And I have Jack with me. I've been waiting to show you Jack. Jack is, well, I showed you him before, but he's getting really tame. He's in his little playpen now. He loves to play with this little blanket. He's curious why he is on the floor. Because I usually hold him, and it's hard to video him because obviously I'm holding him. And Clay is cooking. What are you cooking?
I am making an Oriental soup. It has a
Let's see what it is.
Tomato juice. Right now I'm ripping up some bok choy, and I put some Napa cabbage leaves in it. I put 1 can of Oriental mixed vegetables in it. I'm going to chop up some celery, some onion, some carrots. Right now I'm just chopping up some of the bok choy and adding that to it. And maybe some seasoning.
So it's the weekend after Memorial Day and we're harvesting and eating from the bucket system, right?
Who would think that you'd be eating things out of your garden
In New York.
the week after Memorial Day?
So last night we had some stir fry. Tonight he's making an Oriental soup. We've had a lot of Oriental this year, haven't we?
With the bok choy, yes. And the bok choy works great. I love it. It's got a special flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And it cooks well. And it's good for you.
I'm grabbing...
If you'd have told me 2 years ago I'd be eating bok choy, I'd be going, what? Bok what?
Somebody would like to have a piece of bok choy. Look, who's waiting.
You're talking
Jack.
a little critter? He won't eat that. He'll eat it if he's sitting
Well,
down.
he's not. He doesn't know what to think because I'm holding him funny. Here, Jack.
Yeah, you can give it to him. Let me put it in his thing.
His playpen. I always keep Jack when I have him in the house in little places that I can watch him because I don't want him to get hurt.
Well, he'll chew wires if you just let him run.
Right.
Rabbits chew on everything.
So he's...
They're as bad as puppies.
And rabbits are super social. He's like, I don't get food in my playpen, Mommy. Why are you doing that? You know I want to rip up that rag. He likes to dig. He's super, super social. Oh, you're getting some pets in? Goes, I would like my bok choy now, please. So you're making bok choy soup.
Well, it's an Oriental soup. It's not just bok choy. There's Napa cabbage and everything in there. I've got to start cutting up some of the vegetables. I'm going to put some long green onions in it.
Uh-huh.
Which I've got in here. That we had bought yesterday.
Should I have made this a cooking only video?
No.
It's just like I'm vegging out today. We don't do anything on Sunday.
Well, we do things on
Well,
Sunday.
we go to church and...
I do work in the yard, but... It's about 45 out right now. So
It's freezing.
it's a little cold. The air temperature's cold. It's damp. It's one of those days that the temperature bites into your skin. And you really don't want that.
And I said I'm going to enjoy the day, spend the day with Clay, and then tomorrow I'll get at it again. Right? You said right like you weren't into that right.
Well, I'm busy doing this, so I'm not really.
Will you hold the camera so I can show Jack good?
Just a minute. I have to rinse out my thing again.
I won't make you touch the rabbit while you're cooking.
I don't want to hold any rabbit while I'm cooking. So put him down. You don't need to
I just wanted to show Jack off.
then show him in his thing.
It's so dark. It's black in there.
I'm not holding a rabbit while I'm
Will you hold the
cooking.
camera?
No. You've been holding the rabbit with the camera. I'm not cooking with
Jack.
rabbit on me.
He's not cooking with Jack on him. Jack, would you like to...
Would you like to go back in your home, Jack?
He says no. He thinks he's a baby.
Well,
He thinks he's the baby. I never thought rabbits were that social. You said your mama had a rabbit?
We had I had a black female rabbit that had 13 bunnies. And she kicked, which my mother called him Tiny because he was the runt. She kicked him out of the nest, and he was almost half frozen to death by the time I found him. So I brought him in to the house, and my mother held him in her hands and warmed him up, and then she.
So he wouldn't die, right?
So he wouldn't die, and she ended up bottle feeding this bunny. The bunny was probably 2 days old.
How many years did you have him?
Well, we had him a good 5 years in the house, running around. He was probably a good 10 or 12 pound rabbit by the time he was grown up. He was running around the house. He'd go onto the couch. He'd sit in the corner. He was litter trained.
You said he used to get into the radiators or something sometime?
No, my dad, we were remodeling the house, and the wall registers, the metal wall registers were missing.
Uh-huh.
So he would go room to room at his leisure. So he'd come out of the wall.
And he didn't tear up the cords
No,
or
he didn't
poop
chew
and
anything.
pee all over?
What's that?
He didn't poop and pee all over?
No, he was litter trained.
Oh, wow.
Mom had him had a litter box just like he would a cat.
So that's what we're doing this morning. Clay's making soup, doing some cleaning, and can't see Jack too good, but Jack Rabbit is chilling out with me in the kitchen. Looks like I gotta sweep my kitchen floor and finish up the dishes in here too.
And the rabbit would jump up on my mother's lap on the couch.
Uh-huh.
You just want to be pet like a cat.
Yeah, because I was surprised at how friendly a rabbit is. Because I always thought that they would just be like stupid, staring out the window.
He was still shy. I mean, all rabbits are shy.
But I mean,
but he'd still run up to you and want you to pat him and touch him. And if a stranger came in the house, he'd run through the house like he was on fire. But
well, just like Jack, right now he's being really well behaved because he's on the floor. But usually, if I put him on my lap, because this is what he usually sits in here. Let me grab this for you. Jack, coming on up. He usually plays and is really happy up here because he's sitting on my lap and he starts digging and carrying on, and in his little playpen in the house, he bops up all the time to see what everyone's doing. And if I take him out of here, he usually jumps back in a minute because I'll let him run all over me on the sofa, and there's chairs in the living room. So he usually has this routine that he does, that he has a blankie, and when it gets yucky, I give him a new one. Usually it's an old shirt or something. But he'll start to dig it, and he thinks he's digging, I think. Is that what he thinks, dear?
well, they have to wear their claws down, and they also have to wear their teeth down, so that's why they chew and dig.
Well, remember when I first got him, he was biting, and you said, get him a piece of wood,
Get him a piece of wood so he can wear his teeth down.
See, there he is. He's digging his blankie. And I usually change it, like, you know.
Because they have to wear their teeth down, they continue to grow, just like a rat.
Mm-hmm.
That's why rats chew so much. It's because they have to wear their teeth down.
One of our subscribers has a really cool-looking rat.
I used to have a rat. His name was Templeton.
I didn't think I'd like a rat till I saw that girl's rat.
Of course, he wasn't really my rat. I got stuck with him because my daughter had to have. We bought the rat because I had a snake at that time.
Uh-huh.
It was a ball python.
This was PR, or BR, before Ruthie.
Yes. This is when my daughters were little.
Uh-huh.
I had a snake. It was a ball python named Monty.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to buy mice for him. Well, we went to the pet shop and they didn't have any mice. So we had to buy a baby rat.
Yeah. But after seeing that other girl's rat, they look cute.
The snake wouldn't eat it. It was too large. So we ended up had to keep feeding the rat, and it became a pet. My youngest daughter and myself were the only ones that would touch him. He was a brown and white rat, mostly white, and he was very friendly. I also had, years ago, I had a tarantula named Harry.
I didn't hear about Harry before.
Yeah. Jessica had to have him, but we were the only ones that would hold him. She kind of gave up on him, like most children don't take care of their pets.
Yeah.
The adults get stuck with them, so I ended up having Harry. He'd climb all over your chest and your arms, and he was pretty friendly for a tarantula. He was just a common brown tarantula.
So what ended up happening to Harry?
Oh, he died eventually. He was like three years old, something like that, when he finally died. But it's just one of those things. Kids got to have this, and kids got to have that. And kids didn't want to take care of this and that.
So, you know, this is so funny. Jack doesn't care anything about that bok choy right now. All he cares about is rolling up his blanket. But we'll feed it to him in his playpen. And Patty the guinea pig would probably like some, but don't wait till you get another spare piece. So the animals get fed pretty good. They get carrots every morning for a treat, which I can't say the word. And actually, Derek Stone of Derek's Fruit Farm it's the brother to this one, right?
Yes.
To Jack Rabbit.
I don't know if I really need this celery in there with all the bok choy, but
I'll tell you, I don't think I would do it. I think I'd save it.
That's all right. I'll put one in. I'll just put one stalk.
Okay.
Because celery makes a good flavor. I think I'm even going to put the greens in. Now that's another thing. You can use the celery leaves and still add them to your soups. They make good soup flavor. And they cook down well.
I wonder if we could, you know how we dry out the celery? I wonder if we could do it with the bok choy for seasoning. I don't know if it'd be of much flavor, would it?
It might be. It's hard to say. We're going to do it. I mean, we've got to dehydrate some bok choy, if nothing more than for soups.
Yeah, that's true too.
We're going to do the same with some of the Napa cabbage too.
And I think Jack is the cutest rabbit in the world. I love his ears standing up so straight. I think it's hilarious. I love it when he looks out of his playpen. We had to make sure his playpen was tall enough so he doesn't jump out. Do you like your playpen? He says, yeah, because I don't like to always be held. So this is...
I think he just likes the attention.
Yeah, he's very much attention oriented. Now, see, he wasn't happy he was okay, but he was just, like, staring around. But once he gets on my lap, he goes to town. I don't know. I like to keep them in crates. I mean, I take them out, but once in a while, he might nip me. Basically, he's not biting. He's kind of, like, just kind of looking for a spot. There's something to do, I think. Like, if I'm playing around, he's rushing around too much. So what are you doing, Jack? Are you tearing up? It's an old shirt is what I give him. I give him the old clothes that no one's going to use or worn out or has a stain on it.
Okay, now
Now what are you putting in there, darling?
Well, I put the green onion in there, but I'm going to use up the last of that white onion that we used for our thing yesterday.
Okay.
I'm just using up some vegetables we had.
Did your dad, well, you said your dad used to throw everything together for soup, didn't he?
No, that's what you said your dad did.
Well, my dad did.
The only thing my dad ever made was clam chowder.
Well, my dad used to, on Sundays after church.
But I'll tell you,
yeah, go ahead.
I wish I would have had the recipe. My mother used to make the best potato soup. And it was a cream of potato.
I have to make you some potato soup. I make good potato soup.
I do like potato soup.
And I don't think I've made you some potato soup yet. But I'm sure your mother's is better because she's been around for a long time and she knows a lot. She knew a lot of good recipes. You taught me a lot of things your mama taught you.
Well, another recipe I want to try to reinvent that my mother did was tomato gravy.
Yeah, that sounded really neat. And tuna fish gravy you told me about.
And the tuna fish gravy. And you could put either or on toast, mashed potatoes.
And my mama used to make potato candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good though. And bread pudding. Most of us have all had bread pudding.
I never liked bread pudding. My mother used to make bread pudding at least twice a year, and she used to make rice pudding too. I wasn't a big fan of rice pudding either.
We had stuff like snips and nep. My family being from Lancaster, Germany. My mom and dad speak German. Not fluently, but most of the people from Lancaster do. A little bit. The old timers. But, what do you think, Jack? You think you're going to get some snacks? I think he's more concerned with his blankie. Yeah, well, the rabbits, I just noticed that they love attention. I was surprised. He's a big baby, but he's playing right now. He's playing with his blankie, and he gets spoiled. He gets out quite a bit. They keep me company when Clay's not here. Clay, my big rabbit. The daddy rabbit.
I thought we had some garlic in here.
You know, I saw a garlic bulb behind me over here, dear.
Well, I'll just use some of this that's in the tube.
So we've been watching Daredevil on Netflix. Been working, getting things caught up. And,
I'm going to put just a squeeze of this chili pepper in there.
Oh, yeah. Show the brand that you're using that with, because we like that little brand.
It's Gourmet Garden.
Yes, they have a lot of nice things.
Find them in the grocery store. They have garlic and red chili pepper and
So if you're not going to grow stuff...
ginger and parsley and all kinds of cilantro.
If you don't want to have a big old garden, they're like $4 a thing, but they're definitely worth it.
Yeah, because you don't have to chop up a bunch of stuff, and it's all pre-mixed. And
I did a product review for them, so they were good people to us. They sent us a lot of product, and it was all good stuff, and it seems like it did the job. That was a freebie, Gourmet Garden. Right? Because
I just put the garlic and the red pepper in there.
Yeah, I do product reviews, but I only do products of the best products out there.
And oregano.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
They have a lot of different flavors.
I only do product reviews of the best products out there because you won't see me talking about products that I don't have a good experience with, because what's the point, you know?
I'm going to just put just a dash of basil in there, too.
Yay. Jack Rabbit. He is a spoiled baby. So anyway, this is my first time ever owning a rabbit. I mean, we've had a pet rabbits outside, but I'm talking about a pet in the house. And I was surprised at how social they are. They're very social, just like having a little chihuahua. This is a mini Rex, so he'll only get to be like 5 pounds. And that's it. And you think he's already 5 pounds. He's 6 months old. So he's a little boy, and Clay gave him the name, Jack Rabbit. And I like it because he looks like a big rabbit, only he's little. And his fur is like velvet. It's really fur, flush, soft. When I first saw a Rex rabbit at a animal auction, I fell in love with him. And he's got a pedigree, and here's the glincher. Guess how much I paid for him? $6. I got him at the auction, and there were a lot of rabbits selling. Some of them were selling, probably $30 or something. They were starting to,
Very expensive.
at an auction, that's pricey. But all of a sudden, it worked out that I got Jack for only $6. And he's got a pedigree, which is almost unheard of, because they were saying the Flemish Giants males were going for, $100 at some spots. So it all depends on what's in demand, You can go one year and things are cheap, and other years it's more expensive. Some people try to beat the game, and they try to buy stuff and sell it at the auction, like buy from one place and sell it at another auction. It never works out. Auctions aren't a place to make money. They're usually a place to unload your animals you don't want, and you know what I mean. It's not that kind of a thing.
It's not a money-making thing, believe me.
No, it's more of a nice trade. But
well, if you've got overabundance of animals, you get rid of your excess.
Right. I mean, and it works out. So these guys, she probably tried to show a bunch of these and kept the better show animals and the ones that pet quality maybe. I don't know, maybe it's wonderful quality. Maybe she just had the best ones out there. You know what I mean? And decided that maybe she had a really beautiful breeder and got rid of the rest. We saw a skinny pig there, which those are guinea pigs that are completely bald. What did that skinny pig go for? Like $6.
Yeah, it didn't go for much.
And, you know, people pay like $100 to $200 for a skinny pig, and he went for like $6 there. But, you know, another guy brought, a bunch of those chinchillas. What are the chinchilla, right?
Oh, yeah. He was expecting big money.
He was expecting big money, and
they were going for about $30.
And they were going, yeah.
He was getting mad.
They were only going for $30, but, you know, that's the thing with auctions. You got to know your business and what you're in it for and what you're doing. Where the animals come in is farmers know, which I learned through Clay, the deal with animals, it's not the price of the animals, it's a feed. If you can't feed them,
you can't afford to buy the feed, don't bother getting it.
Right, you can say, oh, I got this great deal on all these rabbits, and then you can't feed them all. That's a disaster.
Or you don't want to buy them their proper protein.
Right, that's
what. Proper food. It would be like buying a bunch of quail and thinking you're going to feed them chicken feed.
Exactly.
It won't work. They'll end up dying eventually.
And that's the thing with the quail. The quail are wonderful, but a lot of, people...
A lot of people don't know proper stuff to feed them.
And if you cheap out, you have to be committed.
Cheap out when it comes to it. It's like your dog. You can't bring a dog home and then expect it to eat cat food.
And the thing that Clay and I have noticed is, and this for us human beings, is the number one reason that we have found that when we brought in animals that we got from auctions and other places, if they were in poor health, the problem was that people didn't feed them right. Just like the guinea pig we got that had scurvy. They didn't want to give them vitamin C, and so you give them vitamin C and they're healthy in a week. Any animal, pretty much, if you feed them right, same with people, if you eat food the closest way that God made it, you will lose weight, be healthy, as long as you're not eating in excess. But it's when you're eating the junk and the garbage, eating in excess, that's when you have problems. And the same with the critters. If you feed them vegetables and grass and their pellets and their vitamins and keep a good eye on them, they're going to be fine. But if you don't want to pay for the feed and you cheap out, it's going to show up, and then you're going to not have healthy animals that don't produce eggs or litters or whatever you need. Right? Am I right there?
You want to take care of everything you buy.
And the same with, and if you take good care of your animals, you're going to take care of your family too. Because if you're a mom, you're responsible for your family's health, to make sure that they eat right, or a dad, you're responsible to make sure that things are taken care of so that everyone can be healthy. And like my daddy had 7 kids, he said, you can spend it in food or doctors, you choose. So if you eat right, that's the key. I noticed, because I had the low blood sugar, I'll mention this before I close out the video. I don't know, I talked to my doctor about the low blood sugar before, and he told me, well, just eat. And that's pretty much what you do when you have low blood sugar. But I've learned that not having the sweets and just eating normal food and getting my sugars like that, I don't have as many sugar attacks. So if I eat too many sweets, I have issues. I start having I'm going to faint, I got to eat every 2 hours. But if I'm eating the right vitamins, I feel a lot better just from eating right and getting my sugars in the right spot. I mean, obviously, if I have a moment, I can eat a piece of candy or something, but I haven't had have you noticed that, Clayton? Since I've been dieting and eating all the right food, I'm not walking around all the time. I feel like I'm going to faint. Have you noticed that?
That you're going to faint?
No, that since I've been eating right.
Sorry, I'm concentrating.
Oh, since I've been eating right and eating just the veggies and stop the junk since my diet, I'm not walking around. He just gave me a little nibble. I'm not walking around. I'm feeling like I'm going to faint all the time.
Right.
Because I'm not eating the sugar candies. So, I don't know. No one ever told me that hypoglycemia people shouldn't have sugar, but I guess I heard that somewhere. Or they shouldn't be loading up on it. I thought, why didn't anyone tell me that before? So, anyway. Oh, well. So there's Jack. Clay's cooking. My little sweet rabbit. And what are you making now? Macaroni and cheese?
I'm making macaroni and cheese for lunch because that soup's going to cook down for 4 to 5 hours.
Oh, so he's making... I love my husband can cook, and you haven't cooked for me totally in a long time.
I do on the weekends.
The weekends, this weekend.
During the winter, I like to cook a lot more because it keeps me busy.
Well, you haven't cooked for me lately on the weekends, and you know why, don't you?
I've been tied up.
He's been gardening. So this is a nice surprise. So, anyway. Okay, say goodbye, Jack.
Goodbye, Jack.
Okay, we'll see you in our next video. God bless.